Hello there, Don here from the Patriot Media Group and UnitedPatriotsMichigan.com, coming at you with current events and what we think of them. Today I got to talk about the strategic oil reserves and what Joe Biden has been doing to them lately. I know that probably most of you have noticed that there's been a slight downtick in the price of gas and then another uptick. The reason that there was a downtick in the gas is that, of course, Biden announced that he was going to start pulling some oil from our strategic oil reserves. Now, what that is, the strategic oil reserves are two giant tanks of oil that we have that are underground in Louisiana and Texas. And they house about 714 million barrels of oil. Now, Biden has come out and said that he was going to release 1 million barrels of oil over the next 180 days, and that he originally dropped the price of oil a little bit, but then OPEC came out and said that they were going to reduce production by 2 million barrels a day because they were ticked off that Biden was going to release oil from our strategic oil reserves. So that kind of screwed us in the long run, because now oil prices, as you probably have noticed, have went back up about $1 a gallon. I have gas in my truck that was $3.29, and now I just filled up our SUV and it was $4.49. So it's up $1.20 in the last 2 weeks since our vacation. So give you an idea about how serious and how much of a impact this has had. Here's a couple pictures. I got a couple graphs. These are available if you just Google United States Strategic Petroleum Reserves. But this is a graph of the reserves. This, of course, being the last 50 years. Right down here is where Biden took office. You can see the highlight, and then you can see this severe steep drop off where it just tanks. And it went from roughly 714 million barrels all the way down to 400 and under 420 million barrels, which is where we're sitting right now. Now, what that is technically, with how much oil we use on a daily basis, that is only about 21 days of oil reserves. So if for some reason the flow of imported oil were to shut off, because keep in mind now, we're not drilling hardly any of our own. Now, we don't have any refineries really that are running right now. We have, like, I think 1 or 2 out of the 5 that are supposed to be running. So we don't have any processes within which we can make gas from oil. Very, very little. So if the oil flow were to shut off for some reason, within 3-4 weeks, we would be done as far as having any gas. We do have some of our stockpiles, but again, if you take a look at, this is the United States, if I can get this in the camera, the United States commercial crude oil stockpile. And again, you can see where Biden took over here in the yellow, and you can see the corresponding huge drop off, man. He's just, because he stopped producing oil, and just we've been using it, of course, as usual, he stopped producing it. Our stockpiles have gone down from 700-800 million barrels, again, all the way down to under 420. So we don't have the capacity in any kind of an emergency to power our industry. When you think about it, everything that we touch is a product or of something that has to do with crude oil. Now, I mean, even stickers. These stickers get made. They get processed in a factory where the paper pulp has to be transported to the factory by a truck that uses gas. The trees have to be processed in a factory that uses some kind of power, probably created by some sort of natural gas or coal. Everything that we touch, the ink pen, my mouse, everything that we touch has somehow, one way or another, directly connected to crude oil. So you cut off our supply, which Biden has done, our national supply. Biden has done it, and what that does is it's crippling our industries. I work in the automotive industry, and our supply stream is so screwed up that we can't produce. We have literally tens of thousands of cars and trucks sitting in parking lots waiting for chips. Now, we manufacture some of the chips here in the United States, but we don't have the chips that run the major computers in the vehicles. We can, the main boxes. They can drive, but certain components within the vehicle won't work. So we're waiting on the chips, of course, made where else? In China. Actually, I think they're made in Taiwan. But we don't have the chips. We wanted to buy a new Blazer this year. We couldn't. We ended up having to get a Equinox because Blazers were so far out. There were no SUVs to be had. So now we're looking at buying a truck. There were no trucks to be had. So it was just it's just crazy. Anyways, I'm good digressing. By Biden artificially lowering our supply, it's caused the price to go up. By Biden artificially lowering the price of gas, it's caused our supply to be down. And if you know what's going to happen is as soon as this election is over in about today is the 11th, so less than 30 days, 27 days, 28 days, we are going to see the price of gas. I've read a couple articles this morning, which is one of the reasons why I wanted to shoot this video, that in the Midwest, they're saying gas could go as high as $7.58 a gallon. And if you live in the democratically run West or East Coasts, God help you, 10 to 12 bucks. I read the projections and I was just, my God, a 20-gallon gas tank now would be costing you 160 to 200 bucks to fill it up. That's ridiculous. And if you go through 2 tanks of gas a week like we do, that's $500 a week, $400 a week. My God. So this has to change. We got to get out there. We got to vote in November. We have got to get these guys out of office, man. We've got to get Biden impeached. Nobody's saying it, and I know why they're not saying it. They're not saying it because they don't want to bring it up because it's negative. But this son of a bitch has got to get out of office. He's got to be impeached. We got to get rid of him, Kamala Harris, Nancy Pelosi, Chuck Schumer. These guys all got to go. These warmongering. Oh, by the way, real quick, speaking of warmongering, I don't know if you guys saw, but today, Tulsi Gabbard quit the Democratic Party. She did a little speech on YouTube and on Twitter. Take a look at it. She calls them out, man, like nobody I've seen in a long, long time. She says she resigned from the Democratic Party for reasons that I just basically mentioned. But she did an amazing job. So that's my 2 cents. Don't forget to, if you've seen this on YouTube, please give us a like, give us a subscribe. If you're seeing this on any of our channels on YouTube, if you're seeing this on, Rumble, please re-rumble. Excuse me. If you're seeing it on our platform at UnitedPatriotsOfMichigan.com, leave a comment. Do whatever you want to do, whatever you can. Help us out. We greatly appreciate it. That's it. This is Don from United Patriots of Michigan and Patriot Media Group signing off. See ya.